Hey, Mrparka here to review Dysmorphia, which is from Wild Eye Releasing, and it's a horror anthology. I didn't know much about this, so I put it in, and it features several shorts on here, about 5 or 6. It's got the VHS style, you know, kind of a wraparound story, kind of also similar to Death by VHS, where these two brother and sister are staying at their aunt's house, find a chest of old VHS tapes from their uncle. They pop them in and start watching them. This wraparound story is actually kind of entertaining because the bickering between the two kind of improvising it are actually pretty good at it. The guy's a little bit better, I think. He has more to work with, I guess, his character at least. And as the film progresses, we see a bunch of different shorts in here, all ranging in quality and shot differently as well. The opening credits of this movie are really well done, and it might be a little misleading because they're so well done, because when the shorts start coming on, you're like, that's not the same not even nearly close to the same caliber as the other film, as the opening credits. But the first story is about a brother and sister who kill their parents and then have an incestuous relationship. The tones are very dark in it, and the plot and story and you know, the storylines and things like that is really dark and bleak. But the way it's executed, it just I just can't take it seriously. I don't enjoy it. I think it's really I know it's supposed to look amateurish, but it looks pretty rough. It's by the director of the Amateur Porn Star Killer, which I have not seen. But I did not enjoy the first one at all. The second one follows the story of Cool Duder and Wet Movie 1 in this, and they're kind of trapped in the bathroom to lose weight. Really, it's played more like a vlog or a vlog or whatever, and they kind of just play themselves in a way with more jokes. There were a lot of self-depreciating humor in that, making fun of themselves and things like that. Every once in a while it's funny, but there's a really awful CGI effect or a computer-generated effect at the end that is really awful. It works best as just, you know, a funny internet video, maybe not in a movie, but, you know, this thing is all kind of like that. So if you like those guys, then you'll enjoy it for sure. That one at least. And then the next one, hopefully I don't mix it up, but I'll probably miss a couple. There's one where this woman and husband, she's trying to make her husband happy, and she's really kind of really dumb. So she takes all these things that he said when he was angry or in the moment, and she gives them to him as a birthday gift. They range from killing the neighbor's dog and feeding it to him to other things as well. This one's kind of funny, kind of light humorish in a way, and the idea is pretty funny, and it works fairly well.
Did you buy me a sailboat?
No. I had sex with another man.
What?
I had sex with another man just like you wanted.
When did I ever say, I want you to have sex with another man?
In bed the other night, remember?
No.
Hopefully I'm not mixing any. There's also one, let me see what's going on. There's also one where there's these two brothers that are best friends who go on a kill, crazy rampage. This one is pretty poorly executed in my opinion. It follows these two kids, and a lot of them are looking in the camera and laughing and things like that. Maybe some of the murders are kind of unique when they do the sound effects and the screaming and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, makes you jump a little bit. But when that character's actually just talking to the camera at the end and things like that, making out with the camera, it's just kind of really bad. I just thought it was laughable, but the idea, I guess, is kind of is all right, but the execution, again, these movies are all supposed to look kind of bad at the same time, so you know, but sometimes they, like I said before, in movies like this, they do their job a little too well. There's also a short in here called Knockers, which is kind of a funny concept about this guy who's he's kind of like this redneck guy, and he stays in his house, and Jehovah's Witness comes to his door. This one's probably pretty bizarre. It has a couple moments of actual hilarity in it. And the Jehovah's Witness, he tries to avoid it at all costs, but the Jehovah's Witness gets more and more aggressive, you know, killing and eating his dog. There's a reoccurring theme in this movie. And of course, even pulling things out of her vagina, of course, you know, that's what they do. And attacking it with hedge clippers and grenades and things like that. And that's actually kind of a weird, funny thing when they pull the hedge clippers out of there. You're like, what in the hell is going on? The special effects on the girl's face after she gets burned, throws the coffee in her face, are kind of good as well. This one is probably pretty passable. For this caliber of shorts, it's actually one of the better ones. And then there's a short in here called Fatal Air, I believe it's called. And this one's probably my favorite if I'm going to get down to it. I think I enjoyed this one the most. It follows a group of kids working on a programming thing, and one of them is kind of late on his project, so his buddy gives him this new program that's something 6666, so you know where it's going to go. And he designs this animation on this little Pac-Man guy, and they're like, all his friends give him a crazy suggestion, make him a monster, make him a grapefruit. So he does, but the problem is the program brings him to real life, so he comes out this animated creature and starts attacking them. I enjoyed it because the idea is kind of funny, and it has a reason for its like bad animation in it, and it was kind of adorable. A little grapefruit killing things, spitting grapefruit juice and stuff at people. The gore effects are okay in this one. The digital effects aren't supposed to be great, and they aren't, and they're very funny, and they work well, and that's probably my favorite short of the bunch. Like I said, the wraparound, of course, has a twist at the end. Probably the most professional looking is the wraparound. And throughout the film, there is also these segments that pop in. Like the whole thing's recorded on a VHS over another movie and things like that. So we see pop-ups of another movie coming in. Let me see if I can think of any. I think that's all the shorts here. Hopefully I'm not missing any or anything like that. But all in all, I think that some people will enjoy it, but again, a lot of the shorts aren't great, and they range in quality and they range in things like that, and I can't really recommend this one, but if you guys check out the trailer and something you like, you can check it out. Like I said, I like anthologies, and I probably would have enjoyed Fatal Air if that was just the only one I saw, just because the little grapefruit guy cracked me up, and I think it was kind of a funny concept. All in all, overall, the acting in a lot of them is not great. Some of them have better acting than the relationship one with the husband has better acting, and that probably is, and the wraparound are the best acted, I think. But a couple of them are pretty rough. The first one I thought was really rough around the edges, and it was supposed to be kind of like this trippy experimental thing, but I just don't think it worked, and I think it was kind of like a dark themes, and then it just was trying to take itself seriously, and I was like, screw it, not seriously. I don't know what they were doing with it. It was all over the place. But well improv'd, I guess, by the guy in the wraparound. This sounds like it's up your alley. You guys can check it out. There'll be some clips here and there. In the commentary, you found out a couple neat snippets of information and things like that. They had the writers and the directors talking about that. There's commentary on the disc as well. And I thought that was a good idea that I didn't notice that until I was wondering what those clips were. They recorded it over another VHS to make it look like the whole thing was on a VHS, which is kind of unique as well. But of course, all of these weren't shot on VHS either, which is another kind of thing at it. They were made to look like it. But I mean, if you're making a low budget movie, probably just shoot it on VHS. Who cares? But then you don't. But you know, the digital effects and things like that might be a little difficult. Probably easier to cover up bad spots. But this is Dysmorphia. I think it's AKA Treasure Chest of Horror 3, but I'm not sure why it was changed. Maybe it was they wanted the second one maybe isn't released yet. I'm not 100% sure, but if this sounds like it's up your alley, check it out. Not a huge fan of it. Like I said, I do enjoy a couple of the shorts for what they are, but that's about as far as it goes. I'm Mr. Mrparka. Have a good one.